I'm here today with Professor Kathy Xu at the School of Hotel and Tourism Management at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Kathy's experience includes her team's work on sentiment analysis and social listening, and the innovation of the Tourometer, a platform used to assist governments and tourism organizations in monitoring and policy design. Well, hi, Kathy. Welcome. Tell me, how did this project begin?
Hi, Stephen. We started examining local residents' sentiment toward tourists almost 10 years ago, when local residents' quality of life was impacted by the large inflow of tourists. Tourist-host conflicts were reported in the media, not only in Hong Kong but around the world. Thus, we thought we should have a much better understanding of the issues.
I understand that your team developed social listening platform to empower tourism destinations to manage their residents' and visitors' feelings and attitudes towards each other. Talk to me about these innovations.
We developed a social listening platform based on sentiments expressed by residents and tourists in the news and social media. The traditional concept of attitude suggests that people have either positive or negative attitudes. We use the concept of ambivalence, that is, people have positive and negative views of different aspects of a phenomenon, in this case, tourism. Based on sentiment, we'll calculate the ambivalence of residents and tourists using big data to allow tracking over time.
I understand that you developed the term tourometer. How do you define this concept and function of this catchy innovation?
Tourometer intends to serve as a barometer for the tourism industry. Often, government policies were installed too late, and the tourism industry has not proactively addressed some of the issues that could prevent many of the negative consequences of tourism development. This could serve as a timely indicator of the social atmosphere that could influence residents' support for tourism and tourist travel experience. Only when a destination has hospitable hosts and happy guests can it be developed sustainably.
In what way does the tourometer encourage the social sustainability of tourism development and the attractiveness of destinations as welcoming communities now and in the future?
Sustainable tourism development requires the participation of all relevant stakeholders. As I mentioned, only when we have happy residents and happy tourists will we have a hospitable and socially sustainable destination that tourists want to come and visit. If the sentiment of residents and tourists trend below a certain level, policymakers can devise policies and strategies to guide the sentiment back to desirable levels.
In what other ways can the tourometer be used for the greater good?
The tourometer can help us to better understand the views of residents and tourists toward each other, so that greater social harmony can be facilitated. It is particularly important when interactions between tourists and hosts happen daily in areas outside of the traditional tourist areas. Different sectors of the industry, including attractions, tour operators, and hotels, can use the system to read the minds of the community, of their customers, and of their employees. Communication strategies and training programs can be developed based on this understanding.
Kathy, tell me more about your traffic light system in the sustainability research.
Because achieving sustainable tourism is a continuous process and it requires constant monitoring of impacts, we develop a traffic light system. When the sentiment level is high or green, greater promotions can be conducted to attract more tourists to bring more economic benefits. However, when the sentiment level is at the yellow zone, preventive measures should be taken. When the sentiment reaches the red or amber, then corrective policies or communication strategies become necessary to address the negative sentiments.
I understand that the tourometer platform was recently recognized by the United Nations World Tourism Organization. What is it about the tourometer that the UN Tourism found interesting and beneficial?
The UN Tourism recognizes that sustainability is an important goal of tourism development. Yet most of the sustainability discussions are around the environmental and economic aspects. As sociocultural sustainability is increasingly important, the tourometer offers a way to measure it, which can be used by destinations around the world.
Well, Professor Kathy Hsu, tell me, where do we go from here?
We will continue to fine-tune the models and encourage more destinations to adopt the system so as to increase the societal impact of this project. The next phase of the project will expand the data sources to represent multiple stakeholder views and incorporate generative AI to elevate the functions and interactivity of the platform.
Well, thank you so much, Professor Kathy Hsu.
Thank you, Dr. Martin.